Alright, so as you just saw, gave the back of the garage a much needed refresh. I figured I'd insert myself in here and just go over a few things since I really didn't explain any of the details during the process. When we first bought this house, the garage was just basic drywall, so I initially did all the mudding a while back, and then me and a buddy painted it and just left it in white primer, which honestly looked really good. It had a super clean look to it, but I knew at some point I was going to have to paint it again and finish it eventually. I was going to hold off until most of the car was finished, but over the years it's just taken quite a beating, especially here in the back where my main work area is. I figured it was a good time to refresh at least the work area because it was just killed from all the painting, cutting, and welding I've done in here, and honestly I was just getting really tired of looking at it in such a sad state. White looks super clean, but no chance it stays that way if you do a bunch of work in here. And I decided to switch it up a little bit and go with the dark gray accent wall, which I think came out amazing. But beyond the aesthetic stuff, I'm going to start rebuilding the rear suspension in here and also get the engine out of the Cobra soon. And since it is such a small work area, I really have to be strategic in how I do the next stages of the build. The table I had in here is awesome and it's pretty versatile for welding, although the mesh didn't really make it ideal for any in-depth fabrication since it's not a flat surface. The mesh is also pretty abrasive, so you can't really set anything too nice down on it either. I ended up finding this sweet little stainless steel table to replace it. It holds up to about 700 pounds, so I'll be able to set some pretty heavy stuff on it and just be able to work comfortably on it. As far as the other table, the welding table I'll call it, it'll still be used, but it'll just be tucked away in the corner for when I need to do any small welding work. I got rid of my other toolbox, so when the table isn't out, I'll have a decent amount of space here to probably keep the engine and trans in this corner, and then just be able to work on a couple things. The other option I have now is the stainless table also folds up and can be moved, so I can also work on the engine in this area. I can also unlock the casters on the toolbox and move that as well for even more room. But yeah, just have to make do with the space I have. Working in a relatively small space and getting into a build this deep, you don't realize how much of your time is spent prepping, moving things around, and reorganizing things just to make it all work for the next thing you're working on. But anyways, a couple of odds and ends. I had mounted my garage door receiver up here to the actual motor to get rid of that ugly wiring that would run up the wall all the way to the motor. Then I got this wireless receiver and just put it in the original spot. Obviously not a big deal, but it's just one of those little things, makes it look so much cleaner, and at the end of the day it does what it needs to do. The door was killed too, so I gave that a refresh in white, which I think looks awesome. I wanted the white to break up the darker wall a little bit. Then I just added some slick new hardware with a new touchpad. The new closer has a door stop, which I know isn't a big deal, but it would have been so handy to have that thing moving big things in and out of the garage. We'll see how long the white stays white, but it looks good for now. The Treadplate came out awesome. I wanted to hide the foot or so of concrete at the bottom, so I thought the Treadplate would look good there. It's kind of a pain to match the pattern because the floor is pretty uneven, but I think it came out alright. For now, I just put some black rubber trim on the bottom, but when I eventually finish the floors and the rest of the garage, I'll use some nice aluminum trim like I did at the top here. So the black rubber trim is just temporary, but it does the job for now. And lastly, the banners. I actually couldn't find any banners that I liked or anything big enough for this space, so I took some time and I ended up designing these two in Photoshop, and I think they came out awesome. If you watch some of my old videos, you'll see I had a Red Bull and a Ford racing flag up before. I really like that combination, so I just took inspiration from that and put my own spin on them with these vinyl banners, and I'm super happy with how they came out. So yeah, that's pretty much it. The rest of the walls are also pretty killed, but I'm not looking to redo the whole garage at the moment. The rest of the garage will get done when I'm done with the Celine and I can finally wheel these cars out of here. But yeah, a little bit of a different video, but it'll definitely help with the next steps of the build. And the next video, I'll be right back on the Celine. See you on the next one.